language. If this is something that can or will offend you, you have the option to turn it off now. Hello and welcome to the Gathering of Dorks podcast. A podcast all about being a dork and talking about the dorky things we like to do. On this podcast, we'll be doing live play sessions of role-playing games, talking about board games or whatever other shit we find to be dorky enough for our likings. Ugh. I'm still so hungover from last night, dude. Welcome back for our 51st episode. I'm Jamie, and with me again is Will. What's up, Will?
What's going on, Sir Jameis?
Dude, still hungover after last night. What's that?
We'll have a touch of a buzz going on right now.
I might, dude. I might. And we also have Chris back from the dead. What's up, Chris?
What's happening, fellas?
Not much. We don't have Blaine with us tonight, so I will go ahead and give out the contact info. Make sure you email us at thegatheringofdorks@gmail.com or get over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/TGODorks. Twitter at TGODorks. Look for us on our Google Plus page. Make sure you leave an iTunes review. Dude, I am hungover. This is horrible.
Getting old, Jamie. Getting old.
I know. I can't do things like I used to. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Not much has changed since yesterday, so let's get on over into what's happening. All right, what's happening? Round table time. Well, I've already told you how I'm doing. Not good. Will, how about you, man? How you been since yesterday?
You know, my tolerance is probably way above yours. I actually feel good. I got me 6 hours of sleep last night. Was able to go into work and feel pretty good, and didn't have a single call all day. And
that's good.
Now I'm here enjoying a Coors Light.
Yeah, I got Dr. Pepper rolling tonight. Chris, dude, how in the fucking have you been? I have not even talked to you for a long time until today.
I know. Much better now. Things are getting back to normal at work, so can get back to real life.
Yeah, you were super, super busy there for a while. But
it's going to happen again in April.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
What were you on? Were you on 6s or 7s? Days a week?
6/12s.
6/12s, dude. Fuck all of that. Oh, well, you're back now for the time being. Shit, if that's the case, that might be right around the same time that Blaine could possibly head back up to Icewind Dale, too. So, who knows? Yep. We'll see what happens. So, other than that, like I said, not a lot's really obviously changed since yesterday. Just getting on to... well, tonight was supposed to be a live stream of Horde of the Dragon Queen, but that kind of changed. We're changing things up a little bit. Will, do you want to kind of explain what's going on? I'm not up for talking good.
Well, essentially, Lyndon's taken let's just call it a more or less indefinite leave of absence from the Dorks right now, and we can't really do it without doing it real. So what's going to happen with Horde of the Dragon Queen is I'm going to go ahead and write out 2 chapters, kind of novel style, about what was supposed to happen and get that out, because I know there's people out there that want to know how it ends. So give me a month or 2 to get that hammered out, and I'm going to get it to Blaine for proofreading. Don't worry, guys, because it'll be rife with spelling errors and punctuation and grammatical fuck-ups. So give me a month or 2 to get that together. We'll get out there and we'll make that available in a PDF form somewhere so you can find out how the story ends.
Yeah, so... yeah, it was supposed to happen, but not going to happen. Well, now see, this is something else you and I talked about, Will, is we still wanted to do a show to pretty much review, the Horde of the Dragon Queen module. Kind of trying to take your advice on this one. When do you think that might be a good time to do after you're done writing up your finalization, or what are you thinking?
I'd like to go ahead and finish writing up what happens. Again, I've written chapters before. Hopefully, it won't take that long to do it. I have a lot of downtime in my spare time. But once that gets out, I want people to go ahead and read it, because it'd be kind of anticlimactic for people to get our opinion on it without knowing how the story ends, if that makes any sense. I'd like to put a cap on it, get it all out there, and then go ahead and review the module and everything else.
Yeah, well, especially when you consider the fact that it kind of got left off on a cliffhanger, which, Chris, I don't even think you know what happened with Fringo.
No, last I left off was when we had just finished talking to the Drow dragon guy.
Mm-hmm.
You were sending fire bolts into Karg's hut, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. We went and fucked all those guys up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he came out and he was looking around, and then we ended the session right there. I could fill you in on that later. What happened?
You don't need to tell me. You can pretty much just say that I fucked everything up. So
No, actually, it kind of worked out because anybody that listened to it would know that the master of the castle, Borngray, actually used you as a bargaining chip on the party to get them to do his bidding.
Uh-huh.
So it actually worked out for me even better.
Yep. So that's where we're at with tonight. So what we're gonna do in place of Horde of the Dragon Queen, which listeners, you guys have heard about how I'm gonna be starting up a homebrew for D&D 5th edition. So with Horde of the Dragon Queen coming to an unexpected early end, what we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna go ahead, and this is also gonna be I hate to use the term, but I'm gonna use the term, an instructional video, if you will, on how to do character creation for D&D 5th edition. It goes really quick. It's going to make a decent video for YouTube and that sort of thing. And Will had already previously created his character, but we're going to re-roll the character. And Chris, something for you to know too is originally I had planned on doing the campaign setting as my old homebrew world. But I changed my mind, and I'm going to actually go ahead and do it on the Sword Coast.
Ah.
Yeah.
Especially with the release of the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, that's going to be really awesome. They have a lot of information in there, and I'll actually show you guys a couple of those things because I bought it when it was on sale for like $23 on Fantasy Grounds.
We spoke about it maybe a week ago. James, were you still planning on keeping canon with everything that's happened with Horde of the Dragon Queen and all that stuff?
Yeah. That's a really good point to bring up. That's exactly what we're doing. Is it's going to be treated as everything that happened with the events of Coprin, Fringo, Arnold, Kid, Dunaril, Daxrin, Tonodin. Everything that happened with those guys is going to be canon on the Sword Coast. So, but it's going to be canon with however Will decides to wrap up the whole campaign. So once that's out, then I'll know exactly what type of canon there will be for this session. So that's what tonight's going to be. We're going to go ahead and do some character generation. Blaine, like I said, is not with us tonight. He's got a family function going on, but he already made his character because we made characters, probably about a month ago.
Give or take. But how dare he not? How dare he be with family and not be here?
I take it Blaine as Har.
No, that was
That's
actually
me.
Will's character.
Oh, okay.
Blaine's was Vic, the elf druid. But
Which I think he said something that he might want to change that, but
well, I'll get with him. Oh, and here's the big surprise too. Will, you put in a text message or phone call this morning to somebody across the pond who should be playing this with us, right?
yeah, I was able to do some finagling with the schedule, and the way that's going to work out is I got a hold of Ant this morning because, like we said, Lyndon's taking some personal time. He's got to do what he's got to do. So we were kind of left with a void because we wanted to have a good group of players that are going to be with us through an entire 1 through 10 campaign. So I was talking to Ant, and Ant was completely down to do it. It had to be on Sundays. So it's going to be once a month, a 6-hour session on a Sunday. And for you limeys over there listening, it's going to be regular people time is what you said?
Regular people time.
Regular people time from noon to 6. So it won't be too late for you guys to get on and check out the live plays on that.
Well, at least for the first couple of hours.
Right, true.
Because it'll still be 8 o'clock at night for them.
Right.
But still, yeah, it's gonna be awesome because whether it's been formally said on the show or not, I don't know. Ant has made it pretty clear that he's not exactly a D20 fan. He and I think alike in that. But so it's going to be interesting to go ahead and have Ant, especially with me doing a homebrew. I'm going to be very interested to see how he is as a player because Will, you had him as a player through the Evil in Torgi campaign, but that was only 3-4 sessions, something like that.
I have to say that Malik Ren was probably my most favorite character to GM, so Ant's capable of doing it.
Yeah, so I look forward to having Ant as a player and a homebrew on that one too. So with all that being said, I think we should go ahead and jump on over into Fantasy Grounds. And Will and Chris, you guys are both already in there, right?
Yep.
He is.
Okay, so this is going to be get into the game. Let's get on in there. All right, here we are. Get into the game. So if you're ever watching this on YouTube, I don't think we have anybody with us in live chat tonight. I don't know, maybe the people that were with us last night are hungover too.
Looks like just us three right now.
Yeah.
And me and Chris are the only one drinking, so we're the only true dorks here right now.
No, I'm not a dork. I don't even know if I qualify as a nerd right now.
If you smelled the beer, would you puke?
No, I'm not that bad. But maybe if I started thinking about, I don't know, greasy pork chops served up in a dirty ashtray or something, that might do it for me.
That's what I'm having.
Wrapped up in a taint.
Served up with a bag of smashed assholes.
Oh, yes. With barbecue sauce.
Okay, so, Will, are you going to want to re-roll Har from scratch?
I don't want to re-roll them, but you mentioned something to me the other day that now that Fantasy Grounds actually has the Subvert the Blend sub-race on here that I can actually put on.
Yes. Well, and like I said, in that sense, you might have to do it from scratch, only because with the Fantasy Grounds D&D 5e official material, everything is drag and drop, which if you watch this video, you're going to see that. I have
Well, I tell you what, go ahead and start with Chris. I'm going to write down some particulars off my Facebook, and then we can delete my character and start from scratch.
No. You could leave the one you have up there. Just create a new character.
I got to erase a bunch of shit, though.
What do you mean?
Oh, you mean create a new character and then delete
Yeah,
what I already have?
then you have the other one as reference material.
I'm smart. I get stuff.
Fucking Ogmon. Okay, so you guys should have access to the Player's Handbook, Elemental Evil Player's Companion, and the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide Player's Guide. And in that is where you're going to find your races. First thing is first. Chris, if you want, go ahead and do your stats.
I'm trying to get all the modules open right now.
Okay. So as far as D&D creating a 5e character, this is super simple. They tell you to roll your stats like in step 3. I don't agree with that, at least in Fantasy Grounds, because what happens in Fantasy Grounds is once you add your race to the character sheet, it will make the racial ability adjustments on your character sheet. So if you try to drag in a race first, like let's say you did a human, it's going to change everything. It's going to increase all abilities by 1. And so if you did that first and then did all of your ability scores, it makes it a little bit more confusing. So I prefer to do the ability scores first, and then we'll do drag and drop on everything else. Do you have any idea exactly what it is you want to play, Chris?
Are we doing an evil campaign or what is this?
No, it's me, man. It's neutral, good, or better.
Okay, I just saw the horror character's portrait and it looked like he was a troll or something.
No, I just put that one on there because that is the stock portrait image that they have for the deep gnomes. I can't pronounce that shit.
Oh, the Svrvnefblin, whatever.
Yeah. I think Will's the only one I've ever heard pronounce it without
but they're Underdark.
Yeah.
Are we starting out there or
No.
where are we starting out?
Well, that's all the stuff that I want to talk about tonight too. So like I said, basically if you just go ahead and get like I said, what kind of concept do you want? I know, Will, you're playing what class was Har?
Oh, he's a wizard.
Okay, and Blaine was playing either a druid or ranger, and I'm unsure what Ant's going to be playing. So, I know, Chris, you almost always play an arcane class.
Or a fighter.
Have you played
It's
fighters
been a while
before?
since I played a fighter.
Play cleric.
Yeah, maybe I will. I'll do a battle cleric.
Really? Yeah, because you can use swords and all that stuff. That would be cool.
Now, what race?
That's the question now, isn't it?
Well, I have to do a halfling.
You could do a halfling battle cleric, huh?
Fuck yeah.
You got to get you a voice changer. Say, I sound like this whenever you go charging into battle.
Yeah, no shit, huh?
Or maybe I could do a gnome.
Do a Svirfda blend with me.
I
Jamie, what-
forget. I forget what their god was. It's been a while. Oh, it's
I looked it up and I don't remember now. Is it? Maybe it's on my character sheet.
I used to know back in all my reading all the books days.
Well, shit, especially in Forgotten Realms, there's like one
Yeah,
out of a
that's
million
what
to
I mean.
choose from. Okay. So, basic character
All right, well-
creation.
I'm good with that. So I got my ability scores written down. I'm just going to use the same ones.
But remember, there was racial ability adjustments put in there.
Yeah, I have to take 2 of these down.
Mm-hmm.
So let me finish this
I
off here.
don't remember what you had exactly. Anyway, so first step, like I said, is going to be going.
Yeah, they don't have any rates trait adjustments in the book for the Svirfneblin.
Well, when you drag and drop the race on your sheet, it will. They have one adjustment, ability adjustment, I think.
For just a gnome, right?
No, when you drag and drop over the deep gnome, it will do it. There is another one.
From which book?
You'll find that in the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide.
Okay.
No, isn't it in the Elemental Evil Player's Companion?
I'm not sure. It might be, but like I said, I know for sure it's in the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide.
I'll just use that one. Are you doing Svirfda blend too?
Still thinking. Yeah, why not?
Okay. You want to go ahead and roll up your stats, Chris?
Yeah.
So that will be step 1, and then go ahead and drag and drop them into your sheet.
Let me see if I can drag my race over here now.
No. Do your stats first, because then it'll
Okay.
do the...
Yeah, it won't adjust them.
Right. Which you already dragged over your race. So it just
Yep.
increase your... Okay, so just 2 to your intelligence and 1 to your dex. Fuck it. Good enough.
Well, can't I? Okay.
No, because it's going to have all... Unless you create a new character now. Because it's going to... It put in all the other stuff, too. So you're doing a deep gnome fighter? Or battle cleric, you said?
Yeah, you know what? I'll just do the fighter.
Okay. Everybody's shins and knees better watch their asses.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'll fuck some kneecaps up. That's gonna be my helmet, dude, as a kneecap.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and roll your stats. And for anybody listening out there, I don't recall exactly how they tell you to do it in 5e. I know that there's a point by. Let me take a look in the reference manual here, but
It's we did it pretty much the same way as 3rd edition 3.5. You know, roll the 6 or 7 sets
yeah, we
and
do
throw
it
away the one highest.
lowest.
Yeah, the lowest.
We do roll 7 sets of 4, and out of your 4 dice, get rid of your lowest number and take the best 3, and so on and so
So
forth.
here's my first set.
We should do this old school, like 1st edition, where
I don't know what it is, Jamie, but your mic sounds like you're.
I think it's our Skype call. No, it's not. I have a good connection.
Am I still
do too.
sounding all weird?
So
Yeah.
I'll just punch that in for my. I'm just filling in random numbers.
You want to drop the call and have Chris add you back?
Yeah, just add me right back, Chris.
Okay.
Taking a break. Chris has to call me back because I had a bad connection. Here we go.
Watch him not answer now.
Yeah. Is that any better?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So as far as the way we do it, yeah, we do the 7 drop 1. We do it old school. Oh, like I said, Will, we should do it super old school maybe. Like old 1st edition D&D where you go roll a stat, that's your strength, roll a stat, that's your dex, roll a stat, that's your con.
Ooh,
Just right down the ladder.
there's a crappy one.
That's a very shitty one.
9.
You got well, no, it's not even a 9. That's a 8. You have
It's a
to,
9.
no, it's an 8.
Oh, that's right. You have to take one away.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Well, then that first one wasn't a 14 either. Let me fix that. So that one's a 13.
Did you
And
find the Deep Gnome class in this book, Chris?
yeah, I saw it in there.
Under.
I drug it. It was in the Sword Coast Adventures guide. I drug it right onto my race, and it adjusted everything.
Because all I'm seeing is gnome.
Click on it, and then you scroll down, and there's sub races, and
Ah,
Yeah, you have to make sure to get down into the sub races.
check you out.
yeah, this is the first time I've ever used something that uses a Windows base. You know,
No shit.
damn it! I get some shitty scores.
Yes, you are.
7.
Wow.
All right, a 14. Come on, where's a good one? A 12.
Nice one.
And yeah, here's your last one right here.
Is that my last one?
Yep, that's
Yep.
6 so far. That's better.
Ooh.
16.
Yep.
Okay, so obviously you put those.
Drop the 7.
Yep, you put those into your abilities, and then we will move on to the next step. Which again, hopefully, if you watch the video, it's. I mean, it's just free advertising for Fantasy Grounds, but it's unbelievable how good it is.
Well, it looks like he's going to have to be. Maybe I'll make him a. I guess he. Shoot, with those stats, maybe he'd be a good rogue.
Rogue would be an interesting class. Oh, especially with the deep
With the
gnome.
two weapon fighting, with the higher decks.
Well, yeah, because with the deep gnome, you're gonna get.
Yeah, what kind of specials did I get?
You get a +1 on dexterity. You get a +2 on intelligence.
Yeah.
A
Well, I'm
-1.
looking at the traits. Advantage on all intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws against magic. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And there's advantage on
Stone
stealth checks in stone areas.
stone camouflage.
Dark
advantage
vision.
on dexterity checks to hide in rocky terrain.
That would be a
And
very
dark
good
vision.
one. That would be a very good
Yeah.
rogue. Okay.
Well-
So from here, go ahead and put your stats in, and
So,
then
I'll put my 16 into my dex, so I'll have a 17.
there you go. Let's.
And
You got to drop that 8 in
intelligence.
charisma. Just make him a little prick, dude.
oh yeah.
I could be the face of the party because my charisma is a 17. Which is totally fantasy. Look at my face.
We're pretending.
God, I hate Panda Express.
Oh, is that what you had?
Yeah, wife wanted it. I feel like stopping twice.
I don't remember what the saving throws are for.
It'll do it for you
Okay.
automatically. Don't even worry about them.
Okay.
Just go ahead and throw in all of your abilities, and then from there it's just drag and drop the class. And then
Looks like a 12 would be good for strength.
yeah, I would think
Just
so.
+1.
Yeah.
Which, as long as you use a what is it? A versatile weapon now. You can use your dex for attacking,
Yeah.
so that'll be really good. And then you just got your other ones.
I guess I'll put a 12 in my wisdom.
There you go. Then what? The 14 in your intelligence, 13 in con.
That'll put me to a 16 for my intelligence.
Mm-hmm. And then a 13 con.
Not bad.
So yeah, from there, go ahead and open up your the classes and drag and drop rogue on there, and it's going to prompt you, I think, with rogue to pick 6 skills.
Sweet.
The wizard.
Which is awesome for rogues. I mean, every other class that I know of, or most other classes, it's just what is it? You pick 2 skills to be proficient with.
Arcana and Insight.
That's what you picked, Will?
Yes, sir.
All right, choose 4 skills.
Okay, it's 4. That should be fairly obvious for Rogue.
Well, yeah.
Okay, Will, where are you at with yours?
Right where Chris is.
Are you doing skills right now? Are you just dropped in your class?
So stealth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe, I guess, perception. What was perception?
It's wisdom based, but it's perception.
Perception is basically like listen, spot,
Yeah,
all that shit. Wrapped
all
into
that
one.
shit wrapped into one.
Yes.
Okay.
Acrobatics. That would be good. I'm gonna make him a little bouncy motherfucker.
Part-time circus worker.
Yes.
Okay.
And one more. What would you recommend?
What'd you pick so far?
Stealth, perception, and acrobatics.
I would say deception, but it's charisma based.
Yeah.
Maybe persuasion. I don't know. That's charisma based too, but or sleight of hand if you want to be just a flat out fucking thief.
That sounds good.
Okay. So from here, do you remember about backgrounds, Chris?
Vaguely. Refresh me.
Okay, go ahead and open up the backgrounds in the player's handbook,
Got it?
and you're gonna want to
Oh, okay.
pick one of those and drag and drop it onto your character sheet.
Let me see. He's a deep gnome.
Criminal. I think, Will, you took guild merchant, didn't you?
Yeah, I have to open up the player's handbook.
Criminal might
Ooh,
be.
a spy.
Oh, there you go. So, whatever it is you choose, you would just drag and drop that onto your sheet, and then go ahead and it'll add everything you need on that end, as far as what you get benefits you gain from spy.
Let me look.
Okay. And Will, let me look on your old character sheet here. You chose. Are you going to keep the same personality trait, ideal, bonds, and flaws, and all that, Will?
Yes.
Okay.
I kind of have an idea where I want to go with it, which I guess we'll talk about in a little bit, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and read these out while Chris is looking over his. As far as the personality traits go for Will, he took the, like he said, the guild merchant. We kind of figured him to be the one of your clan or whatever you want to call it that went and did the trading for you guys, right?
Basically, my clan is they're jewelers and they're miners. So we get gems, we make jewelry. I got the obviously I'm Charisma 17. I'm the guy that goes to town and sells them to the humans or whatever, whatever city we're going to. So yeah, that's the background that I have, and then next is
Well, I'm going to go ahead and put out your background things that you put in. Your personality trait is I always want to know how things work and what makes people tick. And that's going to work really good, especially with your charisma being what it is, as far as trying to be more or less a face of a party.
Well, can I change the skills I picked? Because if I pick spy, then I get deception and stealth proficiencies.
Yeah, so just
And if I pick those, then I kind of wasted them.
you didn't take deception originally, so just replace stealth with something else.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll do spy. That sounds. I'll be the ultimate gentleman gnome spy.
Okay. And then for
With no
Will's
charisma.
ideal, he chose greed. I'm only in it for the money.
I'm looking for that table, and for whatever reason, I'm not finding a table. Maybe
It's on.
You have to open up the
In
background.
there.
Open up the guild merchant background, and then scroll down,
oh, that's right.
and then it'll say table, guild merchant personality, ideal, bond, flaw, and so on and so forth. For Will's bond, He put, I owe my guild a great debt for forging me into the person I am today. And his flaw is no one must ever learn that I once stole money from guild coffers. I owe everything to my guild. They made me who I am because I robbed them fucking blind.
Because I'm a greedy little bastard.
Exactly.
I'm gonna choose athletics as my other. Well, maybe not.
Maybe insight. That might be a good one.
Yeah, that would probably be good.
Okay. Okay, so go ahead and
I got my table open.
yeah, I'm gonna be curious. Did you drag and drop spot? Yes, you did. Okay, so go ahead and on your notes, it'll be in your notes section for your personality trait, ideal, bond, and flaw. If you want to go ahead and pick those real quick, you can just open up the table. You can do it by random roll, which I think is always cool. Or you
Yeah,
can,
let's do that.
I think the random roll of
That's
the
what
character is pretty cool,
That's what I did.
and it gives you the random roll button on
So-
there too.
Oh, it's the specialty?
Well, if you're in backgrounds and you are a spy, you scroll down at very bottom. See where it says table, spy personality trait?
Oh, okay.
Open that up and then the dice button right next to it.
Got it.
So go ahead and roll it. See what you got.
5.
Well, with your low charisma, this one makes sense. So you can drag and drop that one onto your character sheet, Chris.
I'm incredibly slow to trust. Those who seem the fairest often have the most to hide. All right.
So you can just drag and drop that one, find it on the table and drag and drop it. There you go. And then
Got it.
let's see what you have for your ideal.
Okay.
I'll say it again. This is something I absolutely love about 5th edition is this background
Charity.
stuff. Whoa.
Okay. I can deal with that.
I steal from the wealthy so that I can help people in need. Robin Hood it is.
That makes it even easier for me to want to steal from people.
Exactly. That's cool. I like that. And let's see what your bond is. Oh,
Oop. Pay off an old debt. Okay.
I owe to a generous benefactor. This character is fleshing out quite cool.
Oops.
Now let's see what his flaw is. I murder people in their sleep.
Yeah. Everyone except my generous benefactor.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5. I turn tail and run when things.
Oh
Yep, that's
my
about right.
god, dude.
That's total Robin Hood right there.
I like it. Okay, before we get, let's do equipment and all that kind of stuff off camera, so to say. Okay, because the biggest thing I want to dive into at this point is now knowing what you have with your background, the both of you. First of all, what I want to do is I want us to come up with a starting location for us. Let me bring up the Sword Coast map. This will be the first thing we need to figure out. This is a big fucking map, too. Okay. Let me share this with you guys. You guys both pretty much know the Forgotten Realms.
Real quick, the flaw that I had, it's not in this table. For whatever
Whoa.
reason.
No one must ever learn that I stole. Yeah, it should be on there.
I think I'm
Oh, there it is. I overlooked
disconnected from the Twitch or something.
Maybe from
Don't show.
maybe from the Twitch. I don't know. Are you guys still in Fantasy Grounds? Can you see the Sword Coast map?
It's loading.
It's a huge fucking map, dude. And for anybody that watches this video later on, you're gonna see that this is the map that comes preloaded with the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide in Fantasy Grounds. This is why, to me personally, especially the way we play, almost strictly online, that's why this stuff is well worthwhile. Is the map still loading for you guys, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, give it a few minutes. Well, just thinking off the top of your head, this is what I was personally thinking for a starting area for these characters. You guys tell me what you think. I'm thinking I wanted to possibly start around the Baldur's Gate area,
Okay.
but you guys knowing the Sword Coast and at the request of Will, and I'm definitely going to hold to this request because when Will starts doing his homebrew later on in 2016, he's going to be doing it up in Icewind Dale, up in 10 Towns. So we're going to stay away from up north. That's why I was kind of thinking Baldur's Gate. But again, you guys both know the Forgotten Realms. What areas do you like? What do you think you would like to start at?
I'll let Chris have that one because it doesn't really matter to me as long as we're on a Sword Coast.
I never really dove too much into the Baldur's Gate stuff.
Might be a good spot then.
That very well could be.
I mean, as far as I know with Baldur's Gate, it's just what I've played on the video game.
That you must gather your party before venturing forth.
Over and over and over again.
Yes.
Yeah, this map is still loading.
It's a big fucking map, dude. Well, it's going to be a little bit slower, too, because I'm hosting the Fantasy Ground server and also the live stream. My bandwidth is getting chewed up.
Well, we got one person watching.
I think it's just me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, Jamie.
Now the
Thanks
map's
for
up.
joining us.
Oh, map's up. Now do you see it, Will?
It's still loading on my end.
So you obviously see how big this map is. They did an awesome job with it.
I want to see it.
So then, being deep gnomes, where the hell would you guys be from?
You know what, that in your Motherfucker's huge. In your homebrew,
Well, there's a. I remember seeing a map of Underdark places before, and so we probably would have popped out somewhere out of the Underdark in one of the forests, likely, because that's where most of the entrances are.
okay, so Waterdeep, I gotta go south. Hang on. So like the Woods of Sharp Teeth or something like that.
Or we popped out somewhere in the High Forest, or close to Mithril Hall.
Where's Mithril Hall at?
Way the hell
It's-
up north towards the spine of the world.
Yeah, that's way up north.
Oh, well, I'm just saying that's where we would have popped. I'm just saying that's where we could have popped out of the Underdark at.
Oh, I got you.
That's a good 2.5 month journey from the Mithril Hall to Baldur's Gate.
Well, we could still. I mean, if we wanted to do way
Well,
up,
Neverwinter.
yeah, say we could do a starting place of Neverwinter too. I'm fine with that.
I've never even in role playing, I've never even been in Neverwinters. That sounds good to me.
Okay, and we'll just keep all the adventuring south because unless we get to Luskan, but okay, so we'll start in Neverwinter. And now the biggest thing from there that I would need to know of you guys with your characters, really think about these personality traits that you guys have. Now, like I talked to Will about this earlier, the way I used to always do my home brews is it was highly based off of what your guys' character goals were. So if I know initial character goals and we can get that kind of stuff figured out, it'll give me a good starting point. Well, first of all, I guess we have to say, I think the easiest thing we could do if you're both deep gnomes is to say that you're both from the same clan.
That's the easiest way to start out.
Yeah.
Because then at least that way you guys already have some history together and all that kind of stuff. And in this case, Will, yes, it's Faerun. I personally don't give a shit. Go hog wild between you and Chris on coming up with a home city in the Underdark.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll do some researching again to refresh my memory.
Okay.
Essentially, with my character, this will probably help you out, James, and maybe even Chris too, because some of your background stuff fits in with what I am doing. Like I said, the way that I have it is the clan that I'm a member of is mainly jewelers and gem miners, and they make the jewelry. I take the jewelry to, in this case, Neverwinter to sell. The only reason that I'm a wizard is the same reason why a guy who owns a jewelry store would carry a gun. It's the only reason. I am not the type of guy that I'm way interested in magic, and this is what I want to do with my life, and wizard this and wizard that. It's just a means of protection and protecting the gold that I have and the merchandise that I have.
So then is it a how do I put it? You were kind of a protector? Or is it that because when you took trips to Neverwinter and stuff like that, the sorcery interested you so much that you would actually start learning the arts in the city?
No, nothing like that. It's like I said, if imagine yourself, you own a jewelry shop, you own a liquor store, you want to protect yourself, you want to protect your goods, the things you have. I learned magic.
Most people get a dog.
Heard that. Maybe I have one, but that's the only reason he picked up learning any type of magic. And as far as where he learned it, that could be back in my homeland. Learned it there before I ventured out.
But
I've always had that knack to sell, and I come back with the highest profits because one of my things that I took is, and I changed it, and I'm always looking for the best deal. I'm a haggler. I don't like to get taken the best of on any type of deal.
oh, hey, we got Jimmy Fett in chat.
Oh, Jimmy Fed.
What's up, Jimmy? He said, "Damn, fell asleep watching Revenge of the Sith with daughter. I cannot excuse Revenge of the Sith and falling asleep. Now, Clone Wars or Episode 1, dude, take a nap, but not during Revenge of the
Yeah,
Sith, Jimmy.
definitely.
You didn't like Clone Wars?
Dude, okay, I've even told people before too. Jeremy and I we went to the midnight showing for Clone Wars, and what we did is we went to work, came home, went to sleep, and then went to the midnight showing because we had to leave for work at 2:45 in the morning. And when we got out of the theater at like 2:30 or whatever it was, first thing I did when we got in the truck to head to the Bay Area was I told him that movie fucking sucked. That was even after all the hype and doing the midnight showing and waiting in line. I still thought that movie sucked.
I did like the whole opening sequence of Revenge of the Sith with the ships, them fighting.
Well, and getting off topic here, but let's discuss whatever we discussed. I love the story arc of Anakin. I think that it's an awesome story arc. But I just thought that the acting and everything in episode 2 was fucking horrendous, dude. I couldn't handle it anymore. So,
Jimmy Fett put, we just finished marathon episodes 1 and 2. Oh, man.
oh yeah,
Oh.
getting all warmed.
That'll-
Getting warmed up for episode 7. So, anyways, okay, going with what you were saying, Will, I really like this. So then, do we want to say that having wizards in your clan is a rare thing?
I don't know, Chris, what do you think, since we're from the same clan? Is this something that you think maybe that I went and learned from somebody else in the Underdark? Or
More than likely, I don't remember the Deep Gnomes having many wizards with
right,
them.
it seems like our clan would just be more of mining, that type of class. Mining and jewelry making.
Okay.
So we'll say that I went and learned from, I don't know, maybe I found some more moderate drow to learn magic from or something.
So, both you guys actually helped me refresh my memory on this, but the Deep Gnomes are in good standing with the Drow?
No.
Generally not.
No.
The Drow pretty much kill him.
Okay,
You
so
see the city by the Mithril Hall called Menzo
Well-
Berenzin?
Menza
Yeah,
Baranzan.
Menza Baranzan.
Yeah, that's the drow city.
Well, that's Drist's home city, but
Right.
there are many Drow cities.
Yeah. So, okay.
I picked it up. Maybe I picked it, without getting too much of. I haven't really thought that part out, but obviously I learned it somewhere. Maybe there's like one wizard in our clan that I learned it from or something.
Okay. I like just me personally as a DM for this one, I like the idea of thinking of your characters being exceptionally unique and keeping wizards scarce in your clan. I think
Right.
that'd be really cool. It's going to really make your character stand out.
Because of the spell plague, wizards would be scarce right now across the land anyway. It's only been 100 years.
Yeah, see, I need to double check and read up on the timeline of events on where we are during.
I think you would have been more likely to have learned magic from an elf wandering into the Underdark.
That's not a bad idea.
An elf from one of the forests.
Will, you could tie that into your background.
Which part?
you owe your guild a great debt for forging me into the person I am today. Maybe you had a rogue elf that became a part of your clan kind of thing, and he was a magic user.
That's a good one. I'm going to go ahead and roll with that. I like that.
So that you guys took in a stray, for lack of better words, and he became this anomaly of a clan, an official clan member of your guys' clan, and he happened to be a arcane spell user, and he's the one that taught you the ways.
Or even better, it was an elf who was a fledgling wizard. Maybe he had just graduated his wizard school or whatnot, and he had a teleport spell go wrong, and he ended up in the Underdark.
There you go, right in your guys'
stranded
clan.
there.
Yeah, it's like a 3PO and the Ewoks. All of a sudden, he's your guys' god.
I like it.
So, okay, we can definitely build off that. So, Chris, what would be your character's standing with the clan? I mean, if you're just this greedy little fuck, but greedy in the sense of giving back to your clan, I take it? Maybe you did some...
Well, greedy of maybe taking from the people who had too much in his eyes.
Maybe you did like one or two little brave missions that finally turned you into a level 1 rogue of going and robbing from some drow or something.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool. Okay. We're going to definitely say, regardless of what any canon or lore would say, I would definitely say that there's an opening to the Underdark somewhere there in the Neverwinter Wood.
So there's mountains right, well, hills right around it. I'd say so too.
Yeah. So that's where you guys...
Jimmy put something up in the chat.
He said, low-level emergency spells tattooed on your skin as secondary spell book. Taught tactic from a former war mage. Do they have those kind of feats in 5e yet? I don't know if they do.
I don't know.
There was, I did 3.5. There was a tattooed mage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the route that I want to go.
Your face is tattooed.
Your face is tattooed on my face.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, we can definitely roll with something on that. I'm sure, Will, you'll write something a little bit more elaborate to that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so we'll have the opening to the Underdark right here in the Neverwinter Wood somewhere. We can isolate that later. And Will, being a trader for your guild, you guys would frequent Neverwinter, obviously.
Right.
And do some trading there. So we will definitely do some research on Neverwinter beforehand so we have a good understanding of it. So most likely from there, Blaine's character obviously is going to have to be from the Neverwinter Wood. And depending on what Ant rolls up, if he rolls a civilized folk, he will be from Neverwinter. And I think that'll make a good adventuring party. Maybe we can figure something out with Ant on how that would work to get all your guys' characters together. So with that, what I would like to know at this point, again, is let me start with Will. Chris, I know you put a lot of deep thought in this kind of stuff too, unless you already got something. What would be your character's goals? His number one goal in life?
Well, that's simple. It's to enrich his pockets and to enrich the clan. It's making money. He's a businessman. That's what he wants to do.
Would he be more than willing to... Well, let's put it this way. Is he brave? Is he willing to take on an adventure if it means paying? Because, I mean, it's kind of a known thing that the adventuring life is a dangerous one, but it pays well.
If the prize was worth it, he would definitely go after it.
Okay.
For instance, he's not the type of guy that would... If someone came in and was talking about some treasure in Neverwinter Wood that is under guard from a hill giant, and it's worth fortunes, it definitely would perk his ear.
Okay. So, wow, you're going to... He's hustler. Well, yeah.
He's a hustler, more or less. He's a hustler.
Well, no, when he said he's hustler, I was thinking about, well, need to rename your character to Larry Flint.
There you go.
Okay, very cool. So you're going to play him, I'm imagining, more or less the way a cleric or a paladin would kick back to the church.
Yeah, but he's about himself first.
Okay, but he still wants to see his clan thrive.
Right.
So that's his number one goal unless something better comes along.
Exactly.
Okay, Chris, now your character, this is the one that's going to really make this interesting. I turn tail and run when things look bad.
I look at that as he's all about when the shit hits the fan, he's all about self-preservation.
Okay, becomes 100% selfish at that point.
Well, it's not always that cut and dry, because maybe he looks at it as, hey, he needs Har, or he needs his adventure mates or whoever he's with to help him get out of that situation. So maybe he will help them just to get out of that situation up until he can run. I don't know.
Oh, so there's like a small conscience thing still going on there.
I'd like to think so.
Awesome. I like that.
Because, I mean, he obviously does have a conscience if he's willing to pay off old debts and he's willing to steal from the rich and give to the poor. So.
Yeah. Jimmy Fett put in chat, the Lord says he can get me out of this, but you're fucked.
Pretty much.
We already have one of those with Tone It In because his God talks to him too. Okay.
Right.
So, if I'm going off of your ideal here, Chris, the charity, I steal from the wealthy so that I can help people in need. Is that going to be his ultimate goal too? Ultimate goal in life?
I think his ultimate goal is going to be to make himself rich and help as many people as he can in the process.
Okay. That'll work. And now, see, I'm trying to think. I think that this would be a really good tie. It's up to you guys. I'm just thinking out loud here. Chris is Bond. I'm trying to pay off an old debt I owe to a generous benefactor. Could that be Har?
Could it be, Chris?
Yeah, I don't see why it couldn't be.
I'm wondering and thinking that that would be something that would be kind of cool.
And that would seal him more into having to stay and help Har, or just get Har out of bad situations that we're all stuck in together.
I think that that'd be a good tie. So what would that debt be?
Let's see.
He showed me my first
you know what?
job.
I'm gonna tie it into my guild thing. He was stealing from the guild, and I caught him and I covered for him.
Or since the Drow and the Deep Gnomes have a troubled past, maybe my parents were caught by the Drow and put into slavery, and we were able to contact the Drow that caught them, and you paid for their release.
Which one do you like better, Jamie? I like them both.
I kind of like that one where you paid to have his parents released, because
that would be a big debt.
Yeah,
that would be
that's
a
more
large amount of gold.
Well, it's more than monetary too, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be a everlasting feeling of guilt, so to say.
And it would tie me to you even more.
And you know what? I'm going to leave that open-ended too because I like it. Nobody knows why I did it because I've never done anything like that ever, and I haven't done it since.
Oh, I like that a lot too. So yeah, I think that that's a good starting point. And it's obviously going to give me good hooks to get you guys started. So now once we get figured out with Blaine's, which I'll do that off the air, figure out Blaine's character's goals and if he's going to roll up a new character or not, and what Ant's character's goals are. I think that that's going to be really good to kick off a first adventure. And yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm fucking ready. It's the 27th, right?
That we get started on this?
Yes.
Tentatively. I will say
Tentative right now?
As of right now, I'll say tentatively we should be live streaming the first homebrew of this campaign on the 27th. Well, that's a Saturday night. Is Ant going to be available for that one?
No, it's
27th is a Sunday.
Oh, okay.
I planned it that way because I initially planned. I know Jimmy Fett, you're listening, but I won't say in what aspect. But Ant was going to join us for that final session. Obviously, that's not going to happen, so he's just going to play D&D with us. But yeah, it's a Sunday from 1:30 till 6 p.m. and I put the caveat in there because there is a 49er game, so that morning. So 1:30 to 6 p.m. as long as that's cool with everybody else.
Yeah, I should be good for that. So I'll get with Ant sometime, and we'll get his character rolled up. I'll get with Blaine, and we will figure out what he exactly wants to do. And hopefully Blaine will listen to this and have an understanding of your guys' characters. So just to recap, especially if you guys are watching the video feed, this is character creation. I still say, first and foremost, I always do abilities first. Do your ability scores, put them in, choose a race, make your racial ability adjustments from there, choose your class, and then do your backgrounds. And I will say it again, I love the background system that 5e did. I think it's,
I do too.
It's. I mean, look at what we just turned up from the backgrounds that are listed on your guys' character sheets. And Chris has worked out flawless. Well, you did yours randomly too, like you said, Will, and it already created a nice, simple enough background to tie you guys together and to get you guys into Neverwinter.
Exactly.
So very, very simple character creation in 5e. After that, just make sure that you are picking your class equipment, which is all lined out for you in the player's handbook, which you actually start with a fair amount of stuff. I think you can do a class equipment, choose this, or you could do a flat out gold. I like to take the equipment that's provided to you because they give you like an explorer's pack, and that has all kinds of shit in it. So I definitely recommend going that route. So very simple, and this is also more or less a meet the characters. I mean, Chris, you just rolled up a 5e character in what, 20 minutes? If that? It's super simple. So I think that's going to already go ahead and wrap up this character creation. Let's go ahead and get on over. It's going to be a shorter episode, obviously, but let's go ahead and get on over and wrap it up. We'll be right back.
What now?
What now? Let me tell you what now.
All right. That does it for episode 51. Obviously a short episode. Sorry, Jimmy, you're just joining us, last 15, 20 minutes or whatever. I'm still incredibly hungover from last night's show. So I'm kind of out of it. But still, I think it's going to be good. It's going to be informational. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and add this in right now. We're wrapping it up, but I should have done this in what's happening. But I'm seeing this on here, and I want to go ahead and play this now. Last night we announced that Azimuth from formerly Chronicles Pathfinder podcast and Rob, that I did an interview with them. And I'm going to go ahead and play it now. So go ahead and kick back for about 11 minutes. If you guys want to go ahead and mute your mics, take a leak, grab beer, whatever you got to do. For the listeners, I'm going to go ahead and play this interview I did with Mike and Rob. And so hang out, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll be right back.
Grab a beer.
All right, going to stop this down for just a minute. I have two special guests with me for this quick little interview, if you will. You know their voices. I don't need to necessarily introduce them. I will let them introduce themselves. So, fellas, go ahead.
All right, I'll go first. If we're going to do alphabetical, I guess I'll go first. I am Azimuth, and I am the co-host and co-producer of a little Emmy award-winning podcast called, formerly known as Chronicles, the Pathfinder podcast. Then we called it Chronicles, Pathfinder podcast. And now we're just Chronicles podcast, baby. So we're getting shorter. We're condensing down. I'm Mike. I'm one of the wheels.
And who's the other wheel sitting over there?
On the other wheel, I guess the third wheel, the second wheel. No, I'm not. I'm Shotgun. Anyway, so it's Chronicles podcast mainly because that URL was available. And we've been sleepy, and now we're waking up again. And, things that started to feel a whole lot more like work and a whole lot less like fun are starting to feel fun again. So we're going to come back and rev up the cast and grab all these authors and developers down and break apart their stuff and occasionally say unpleasant things about their stuff and how to make it better, because that's what we do. And just because stuff is good doesn't mean it can't get better.
Damn right. And see, now from my end, I'm really excited about this. Mike and I actually met for the first time just over a year ago, and we've been in contact a handful of times ever since then. And with the launch of Nerds International, I kind of put my elbow in his ribs saying...
Whoa. Nerds what?
International.
Are we nerds? Is that it?
Actually,
Mike? Is that-
Steel, you do make it officially international by.
Fuck you, man.
Well, the fact that now we have a Canadian on the network to go along with the fellow that lives in London to be on the network, we are definitely international now, Steelwind.
Yeah, well, London counts, but I mean, Canadian International, are you kidding? You're more international if you go to Florida if you live in California. Than you go to Toronto.
You know what they say? Orange is the new black. Nerd is the new geek. It's all relative.
Yes, exactly. So with the launch of the network and everything, like I said, I really put my elbow into Mike's ribs. I'm like, dude, you got to get Rob back. You guys really, really, really got to get your shit going again, because you guys put on an excellent show. I loved the shows that you guys used to do, and I think it finally worked, huh, Mike?
Yeah. Well, it's never been a format that we questioned. The format's always worked, and it's always seemed really natural. Rob and I both have incredibly gracious access to industry professionals who we call our friends and our colleagues, and we exploit this fact because we want them to be telling you firsthand. Unlike when we were, now, Rob and I are both old guys, and you could almost say that we're grognards, but not quite. But when we were coming up, you had no conception of who made the stuff you were playing with. You may recognize an author's name, most likely an artist, because you saw the artist names again and again and again. But rarely, other than the big guys, did you know who these authors were, who's actually, got their hands in the clay and forming the products that you play as a role-playing gamer. And we want that to go away. We want you, for right or wrong, for good or bad, to know who's responsible for this piece of shit, or who's responsible for this gem. We want you to know. We want you to be able to give them firsthand feedback. And they're brave, man. They're artists. So they're coming onto our show, and they know that if they've done something that we didn't particularly care for, we're going to tell them that we didn't particularly care for it. And we're going to go one step further than that. As Rob pointed out, we try to fix the shortcomings of these adventure paths that we review. And we find these shortcomings and we say, man, this really needed some work. This has needed some connective tissue. They forgot a key that opens up a door. Whatever the case may be, we want to give dungeon masters. Yeah, I did say it.
Oh, you went that route.
We want to give dungeon and game masters the ability to run the most confident thing ever. And yes, fuck yes, we're playing Dungeons and Dragons again. Woo!
Yeah, and that's the thing about it too, is you guys are going to be expanding to not only Pathfinder but other systems as well, right?
A little. Be careful on the plural there. He's the guy who's all willing to run up the flag on all these other game systems. I'm still a Pathfinder geek. That's the way it is.
We play a lot of Pathfinder. We also play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, the new edition of D&D. I'm a big staunch supporter. I think it's good stuff. And I think there's room in the world for both, and there's room to talk about both as well.
I don't know if we can necessarily. It's a relaunch, but it's going to have a little bit more diversity to it. You guys are going to get back to doing what you're excellent at doing. I look forward to that. And Mike, you also have something else on the back burner that's about ready to launch as well, right?
Yeah, we're also bringing another new show to the Nerds International Network called The Random Encounter. And the Random Encounter is an idea that I've had for a really long time that actually a few other people had the same good idea. And it has been done, but I wanted to do it my way and with my people. The idea is let's get a crossover of professional comedians who very many of them coincidentally are also tabletop role-playing gamers. So the idea is what we're going to do is we're going to get together once every couple of months, and we're going to record a live play session with all professional comedians in the house. I'm toying around the idea of maybe putting a straight guy at the table once in a while, just have a bunch of funny guys and like one straight guy each time.
I don't get it.
Is this a comment on the Bay Area, or you're talking about the humor level of your guests?
The answer is yes.
Yes. No, but yes, but no.
Yeah, there's that.
So yeah, and I expect they're going to be a very different show than what we've done in the past. They're going to be, we're probably going to record between 6 and 8 hours per play session, and then they're going to be released every week or couple of weeks in a 1 hour to 2 hour chunks while we back up and do more. We've already got one in the can. The first session was hilarious. We had a great group of guys, almost too many. It happened that a bunch of them were all in town. They were all in tour at the same time. My buddy Dash Kwiatkowski, who is the other producer of the show, he is a booker for several different shows in the Bay Area, as well as a professional comedian. So he's the guy who's kind of helped me make this happen. So we had a ton of guys here. We experimented with it. There's going to be a bit of a learning curve with that many people in the studio trying to get things done and play a game at the same time. But I think you'll enjoy it. We got 6-7 hours of play in the can so far. We're getting together in a couple of weeks to play the Force and Destiny box set. We're going to play a little bit of that crazy Star Wars game with the funky dice, see how the comedians do. So yeah, the random encounter. The idea is we're gonna be all over the board. It's going to be different people each time. I've got 2 associate producers and co-hosts. As I said, Dash Kwiatkowski is my boy, and also Jesse Fernandez. Jesse and Dash will be on the show every time, and then what they're going to do is they're going to cycle 2 to 3 other comedians who are on tour in the area as schedules permit. So it should be a hell of a...
You guys need to play Paranoia RPG with that kind of ensemble cast. Let's just move straight on from FFG Star Wars, move over to Paranoia.
That's a great idea, Rob. I'm writing it down right now. That's a fabulous fucking idea. Absolutely. So that'll be a lot of fun. So the random encounter, we'll have the first episode in iTunes soon, and you'll be able to get the information through Nerds International when we do the official webpage release.
And you also, not you personally, but there's something else from over there at what is it that you call your studios there, Mike?
The Zealot Tower Studios. That's correct.
There's something else going on over there that's not directly you, but there's something else going on over there in those studios. Do you want to talk about that one?
Hey, whoa. I mean, do we really need to talk about that kind of stuff on air? I mean, you can take pictures like everybody else.
Yeah.
Just $1.99 gets you 1 week of streaming access. We got...
I want to talk about it.
So... Yeah. So so my better half is a competitive CCG player, most specifically the CCG. Of course, I'm talking about Magic the Gathering by Wizards of the Coast, which, whether you play it or not, you must thank the lucky stars that it exists, because it has kept our entire industry and the entire brick and mortar foundation of game stores alive in this country. And if you don't think that's the truth, you don't know. You don't know. So my girl plays Magic. I have no cares for the game. I have no budget for the game.
Yeah, no shit.
That's what scared me about it, the whole collectible aspect. But my girl's really into it, and she plays with 3 or 4 other really not only very sexy and very intelligent women who are really into this. So we said, hey, wouldn't it be cool to do a Magic the Gathering cast from the female perspective, where all the hosts and all the cast members would basically be all women, and you can talk about different things and different aspects and that, and they like the idea. So this idea has been kind of rolling around like a ping pong ball in the old bingo machine here for a couple of months now. And I think the conversation is starting to be brought up around me without me being the one bringing it up. So that's a really good sign. They're coming up with a name. They're talking about what they want their logo to look like, and whether they want to go too feminist. They don't want to go too sexy, because they want to be respected as being real players. And so this will probably be a real thing. I think it has an 80% probability of the seed opening and the lovely flower emanating from the soil, sort of.
See, seed, flower, we're right back there already.
Yeah,
Pink Floyd, The Wall. You know the scene.
There we go. At any rate, dude, believe me, Mike, Rob, I am just beyond excited that you guys have decided to go ahead and jump on the network with us. You guys are going to be putting out, I know, without any doubt in my mind, one hell of a show. And I can't wait, and welcome both of you very much to the network, and I look forward to hearing it, and I'm sure the audience does too.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Again, welcome both you guys to the network, and let's get back to what we were doing. So there you have it. That is the interview that I promised on last night's show. I was going to have it for, I was going to include it in last night's show, rip that audio, put it in there. But I figured, hey, we're only 1 day later. We're going to just go ahead and do it in there. So what we got coming up, I'm looking forward to. Like we said, we have the launch of the network. On the official launch is on December 18th. Originally we were going to do our end of the year in review show on that date as well, but due to some family member issues, not bad issues, but just previously planned occasions, we're just pushing it off to the night of the 19th. So we're going to do the Gathering of Dorks official Nerds International launch for the Gathering of Dorks on December 19th. Excuse me. We're going to do a live stream. I already have a shitload of notes. We're going to talk about everything that we did this year. It was one hell of a crazy ride this year too.
What are you talking about?
Oh, dude, all the different games we played and everything. When I started making that list for the show notes, I just went through all the old shows and I go, oh, that's right, we played that. Shit, we played that. And then we played that. And then we played that. So we did a lot this year.
Shit, not to mention just the characters in those games.
Mm-hmm. And so that's going to be on December 19th. Actually, before that, though, we played a couple of sessions already. Frank, one of the newer members with us, has been running some Call of Cthulhu. We tried to live stream at one time. We had some problems, but on December 15th, we're playing Call of Cthulhu again. Will, you did actually jump in that game too, didn't you?
Yes, I did, and I actually had a good time playing it. So I'm looking forward to the 15th, right? Is what you said?
Yeah, December 15th.
And we have a live stream of Star Wars coming up on Monday.
Oh, shit, that's right. We have a live stream of Star Wars coming up this Monday, 6 p.m. regular people time.
That's right.
And then the week after, on the 15th, will be 6 p.m. regular people time. We're playing Call of Cthulhu again. And tomorrow, with the one and only who joined us tonight, Jimmy Fed, I'm running some Star Wars. I can't wait for the GoFundMe game. That will be my first GoFundMe game. I'm looking very forward to that game. So, yeah.
Jimmy Fett, give him as much shit as you can and make it as difficult as you can. If you're feeling that he wants to pull you a certain way, do the opposite thing.
Yeah, I'm sure that these guys will find a way to fuck with me. And Jimmy, you're in for a treat too, as long as Richard still makes it. Guy I met up at the con earlier this year. Love that guy. Love that guy. He is such an awesome guy. I look forward to playing with him. And tomorrow is also with Art. And Blaine's supposed to join us. So, yeah. And then said we got
He's going to be the hungover one tomorrow.
Yes, he is. Especially being where he's at tonight. He's going to be hungover tomorrow. So, yeah. I think that's pretty much what we got coming up. And then starting on January 5th. Well, 27th. Sorry, December 27th. Like we already said, we should do our first live stream of this homebrew. And then starting January 5th, we have the listener-voted Warhammer. We're going to get Warhammer started. So I can't wait for that.
It's my first time.
Yep. It's complicated Star Wars. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, I think that's it. Again, make sure you get a hold of us. Facebook.com/TGO Dorks. Twitter @TGO Dorks. Email us, gatheringofdorks@gmail.com. Will, what's your Twitter handle?
@Willard the
Dork.
Dork.
Find me at jpearson71. Chris, I don't think you're using Twitter much these days. You're kind of a rare thing on the show anyways.
Yeah, no Twitter.
Barely even Facebook. Fuck all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, with all that being said, this is Jamie saying grab some beers, grab some friends, and make it one hell of a game night.
And this is Will saying, get your cock out and nerd with. I mean, get your nerd out and cock with it. Get your nerd out and play with it.
Chris, do you even have a sign off anymore? I don't know.
I did, but I don't remember it anymore.
Good enough. We will see you guys on Monday for episode 52.
Goodbye, goodbye. Wipe the tear, baby dear, from your eye. Though it's hard to part, I know. I'll be tickled to death to go. Don't cry, don't sigh. There's a silver lining in the sky. Bonsoir, old thing, cheerio, chin chin, na poo toodaloo, goodbye.